What are we reviewing today?
Well, today it's my treat. Guilty Gear 2 Overture.
That's a treat.
Yes.
Alright.
I got this knowing that the Guilty Gear franchise is known for being
It's a beat 'em up.
a decent action game, one-on-one fighting. I grabbed this, and to my surprise, Guilty Gear 2 Overture is where they decided to shake things up a bit.
Yep, they tried making it an RTS, which on a console, RTS.
It's an action strategy game.
I mean, come on, this controller right here, it's not meant for an RTS.
RTS, select units, move across map.
Actually,
Attack everything along the way.
luckily those units were useless anyway.
At best, they were cannon fodder.
At most, you're just gonna be the main guy, and you're just gonna kill everything there.
Now, which main guy was it? What was our hero's name again?
Sole bad guy.
A protagonist's name as Sole Bad Guy. And no, he's not evil.
He's not
He was
even
just
an
named
anti-hero.
like that. No, they gotta make up for it for just a good sidekick, right? I mean,
No. His sidekick's name is Sin, and he does have some fighting abilities, which I assume he does, but he never aids you in any of the fights.
now just these two guys up against this vast army. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I mean, obviously they had to have more help
No.
against the armies of evil.
They do give you help, but I wouldn't call it help.
What was the help?
You summon these little robots, which usually they faffed about the whole time. And when they weren't doing it, they were just being slaughtered by the enemy. So
How did you come along these robots? I mean, somebody had to like teach you how to make them, right?
yes. And let's not speak about that guy.
Which guy? The guy in the kabuki makeup? In the samurai outfit?
I should say guys. He suffered from multiple personality disorder. But
He was just culturally confused.
he was Irish. He was Elvis. He was British.
He was John Wayne.
He was John Wayne.
He
And
was
something else I
whatever
don't
was
know.
funny. Or whatever he thought was funny. He had a sick, twisted sense of humor.
But yeah, the characters weren't of any interest, but the gameplay is really what killed the game for me.
It was not interest at all. Disinterest. RTSs on consoles are capital offenses. It's bad. Really bad.
Alright, here's how it broke down. You basically had two bases, your base and the enemy's base.
Well, don't forget all the little confusing mini bases along the way for resource collection.
Yeah, they collected resources, but I mainly just stole the enemy's resources.
Walk here, mash A button. That was the game. Yay, you win. You played it now. We saved you from the torturous voice
Just
acting.
pick up a controller, find one button, whichever one you like, press it, bam.
There, we saved you torture. Don't even ask about achievements. There weren't many. I mean,
Of course, the standard 1,000, but you're not gonna get that in
not
single
easily.
player. Most of it involves multiplayer, which the problem with multiplayer is someone actually has to be on in order for you to play multiplayer. Which, with lesser known titles or older titles, it's harder to get into a nice multiplayer.
Or bad titles like this one.
But
In all honesty, this may be one of the worst games I've ever played.
I've played worse, but it's the worst I've
It's
played.
one of them.
It's the worst I've played on the 360, I would probably say. Far worse than Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper, you have to admit that.
A little shy of... This is worse than Sherlock Holmes vs. Jack the Ripper, yes. The single-player campaign, just shy of 20 missions.
And
Three or
of
four
those
of which-
consisted of cutscenes.
Nothing but cutscenes. You start a mission, you go, all right, let's do this. All the cutscenes are set up, all the missions are set up. Cutscene, battle. But a few missions, you start out, you're ramped up. It gets all actiony, and you think, oh, this is going to be where the battle starts. And boom, cutscene's over. You go to the mission select screen. You feel gypped.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And when they did give you a final boss to fight, all they did was just mash the Hadouken button over and over again.
It was just crazy. They'd jump here, there, and they'd mash attacks that you didn't have. They'd hit you from somewhat more of a range than you could hit them.
Your guy is a close-up melee fighter, and they constantly hit you with long-ranged attacks, which didn't really feel like a challenge. It just
felt unfair.
Yeah, it felt like you were playing.
It felt broken.
It felt like you were playing Tekken against somebody that was playing Street Fighter, and Ryu just kept mashing the Hadouken button over and over again, and you're like, I can't even get close enough to hit him with my melee.
This game was just one giant imbalance, a blemish on the mark of gaming.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, those so-called bases, they're not exactly a base.
They supposedly hold your soul while you fight,
which you can then die.
They're like Tupperware containers for your soul.
You can die without even.
It's supposed to make
battle.
It's supposed to make you able to respawn again and again, because all you have to do is protect your soul, and your body is immortal.
But most of the missions, you can't.
Most of the missions, it's a special condition that you don't die a single time.
Which, considering that the enemy can die as many times as you can kill them, that's pretty hard.
Well, what are we going to do about this?
Well, I usually like saying something along the lines of, this is a rant, this is a buy if you prefer such and such genre, but I can't even say that.
I don't want any poor soul to pick this game.
So you're not going to return it?
I couldn't return it for any amount of money in the world.
Alright, so
and I can't keep it because it's gonna haunt me. It's gonna haunt my dreams.
So you don't want that game in your collection.
I'm gonna keep the only thing that's worth keeping out of this, which is the box. And I've got to make sure we never see this again.
You know, for once, I'm just gonna let you go with the verdict. Whatever you see fit.
You agree? Let's do the honors. The Inquisition is doing an execution. Freeze. Get the deep freeze.
Okay there, Sparky.
That was disappointing.
Just pick it up and break it already.
Fine. That wasn't how I expected it to go, but hey.
We live and learn. This thing is cold.
Now, we need to put its head on a pike or something as a lesson to all other...
It's a disc!
It needs to pay! Well, actually, it already paid.
Yeah, you kinda killed it.
Fine. Well, guess our pain's over. The Inquisition has done the world a service.
And just remember,
no game suspects the Inquisition.
Alright, let's take a look at it. Let's put everything back where it was.